really very much in our interest. People come from
And
below.
it's beyond current. I mean, the change in
I've seen and I
project from the old project to the new,
it's
as Sean pointed out, it's no more
incredible.
square footage. There's no additional square footage from one project to the next. It's just a better project, just a higher quality project. The old office building will be knocked down instead of them trying to fix it, and parking is in better positions. They're better. It's going to look better from the Cross County and the Thruway as people are looking at the project because of the way they've repositioned the structures, the parking structures and so forth. Access will be better. It's just a higher quality project, which, you know, they're looking to bring in obviously more business, otherwise they wouldn't be putting in the additional investment. So it's going to be, you know, more sales tax dollars and all of that kind of thing. And the other thing I would just want to say about the full tax agreement is that it helps them. I mean, the mayor said all the reasons why it helps us, which I absolutely agree with. But it also helps them when they're trying to do leasing, and this is a very, very difficult retail leasing market right now, very difficult. And it really helps them in terms of trying to get those deals done with people.
Well, I think that the expansion is an act of faith in the future of the city and in the economy, and we're very fortunate to have them moving forward. And the fact that they're taking down what was the old Cross County Hospital, which certainly was never going to be really functional or attractive. So they're very plus. I think it's a wonderful step forward for the Lord.
And it's not just a project that someone's dreaming of, they're doing it. As you know, they're in the process of construction now, and this will just enable them to do even more. They're almost completed the planning board's review, and other than the environmental already, now it's a matter of finishing up the site plan. So what's good about this is they've come to us in the middle of their project, and it will enable them to make the change to the higher quality, basically on the run, and that's good for us.
And also ensures that there's construction jobs doing this.
That's right.
Because of the economy's going through. Because I know some labor unions are starting to see layoffs and furloughs and that sort of thing.
On that, 2 points. I misspoke. It's 14 years, the pilot, not 12 years. And the construction during the Christmas season, all these malls basically pull as much construction back as they can. That'll be in full swing. You'll see that in January.
Yeah, that was the agreement they had with the retailers who were there, so that it wouldn't interfere so much with this season, retail season. But like I said, as soon as the season's over, they're back 100% at it, and the changes would be fairly dramatic.
Estimated time of completion?
I think there depends on a couple of leases, but I suspect you'll see construction going on through next year and well into the following year. I'd say at least 18 months.
Again, they're phasing it in such a way that they don't disrupt. If they had no tenants, they could build this thing a lot faster because the week can grow.
We give them sales tax exemption approval through December 31, 2010, anticipating they'd be somewhere in that year when they finish up.
If there are no other questions, can I have a motion to approve the resolution made by Cecile, seconded by Pete? In favor? Aye. Carried. Next item on the agenda is the resolution approving Riverview 2. Yeah, this has been before us, Sean.
Yep, and this is just an amendment. The mayor has been using the IDA process to help facilitate, some of the turnaround. This has been, I think, one of our better successes. Kind of quiet, but the building, kind of kitty corner here from City Hall, is the one we're talking about. Related, very large, reputable housing company came in and started really turning that place around. Mayor, when they came in, they told us things I hadn't even realized that we were doing. It was impressive. But we had required that they, we want to get our arms around this the affordability issue. And in that, last year we had the ability to close on a tax exempt bond form last December. They ultimately closed on and started the construction probably in springtime. But we were pretty insistent that if they go after the county money, the county is still evolving their policy. They have this new home land acquisition money that we wanted to have a provision. They had to come back to us if they went beyond 30 years in that instance. The HFA would, on that type of project, would look for 40 years. The county at the time was talking about all kinds of periods of time. They've settled with the mayor's office on a 40-year commitment, and today's amendment is just, or resolution is just allowing us to amend the existing documents to change that date so that it can go 40 and they can draw down about I think it's $4.8 million worth of county money to finish the balance of the units over there.
Now, I'm not in favor of 40 years. This is a particular project that needed help. This was one of the worst housing projects we have in the city with respect to police department, crime. The building had deteriorated substantially over the years. Really, the owners and managers of that property have done very little to improve it. And it was going to continue to drag down the entire downtown. And Related came in, they made, not only they had to make to change the physical plan, to change the building. If you look at it, you can see already the improvements that they've made, even on the exterior. But they've also gone after the tenants who were serious problems for the rest of the tenants who had every right to live in safety in that building. And they've evicted a number of tenants who were probably well beyond their time in there and shouldn't have been in there. They've cleaned up the building, they're continuing to do that, and I think in this particular case I was willing to make an exception because it's turning the building around, and it's a very large building right in the heart of our downtown that has been a serious problem for us for years.
I'd also like to add that there's been a lot of talk about affordable housing in the SFC project and a new affordable housing ordinance. But these two items on this agenda are concrete examples of how Yonkers is not only maintaining but creating new affordable housing way ahead of the rest of the county of Westchester, waiting for them to catch up with Yonkers actually. And it's another example of how the city actually does things, the board does things it's supposed to talk about.
How many units are in that?
343.
I'm sorry, how many, Ellen?
343.
343.
And I just wanted to add, we're not extending our tax agreement with them.
Right.
We're only changing the affordability requirement. Our tax agreement is staying at 30 years.
Every once in a while, call for something, Ellen. I keep forgetting you're here.
Yes, thanks.
Mayor, I just have a question. Where's the 30 to 40 years? I want to say 30, you said 40.
I've been putting, each time we do one of these pilot agreements, again, there's basically two that we've been doing. They're either a full tax agreement or they're these affordable housing tax agreements which have a 10% of sheltered rent. That version of your pilot, your tax agreement, we are putting in a clause that says you can only have affordability restrictions on this property no greater than blank. And that's allowing the mayor to bring these issues to a head. And so we know before, without putting that provision in, we'd close on a transaction, they go off and do some side financing like this, and all kinds of affordability restrictions could be added to these things. We're a little sensitive, particularly in Southwest Yonkers, so we're putting these restrictions in to bring it to a head so we know exactly what the project's doing on affordability.
There are no other questions? Can I have a motion to approve a resolution for the Riverview preservation? The work that's going on. Joy, seconded by Mike. All in favor? Aye. Carried. Next is the Main Street Loft, another resolution of approval.
Main Street,
You're here, Sean. Why don't you tell us?
thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this is our catch-up day. Thanks. Thank you.
That's Jerry did this time.
Put my good tie on for today. Main Street Loft was a tax exempt bond we did. I know everybody, I assume by now has seen it. It's just a fabulous site. But normally after construction with these type of financings, they will replace the credit facility or what backs up the right that the bondholders get paid. And here they're going to Fannie Mae, pretty typical. But on the documents, because you've issued the bond, you're supposed to approve the change in the credit facility. So we're going from basically a letter of credit to Fannie Mae. It's a nice long-term financing form. It keeps the project affordable. So all we're doing is modifying the bond documents as originally contemplated, but formally you have to approve switching to Fannie Mae.
And as you know, if you don't know, the project is fully rented and has been, I think, since the third month it's open. They've done a terrific job of marketing it, and it's rented. And they're now in the process of leasing up or negotiating to lease up all the retail space on the ground floor, which will add that much more activity to the downtown and Main Street, which is, we need it. It's exactly
Mayor, I would say that